Hey nerds, it's Shelly Von Miller, and it's time to engage your VR headsets because we're going into a virtual world with the new upcoming Powered by the Apocalypse game, Safe Mode Disabled. Of course, if we're going to talk about a new game, I like to have the people who made the game on the channel, and welcome to the hot seat. And to the channel, this is their first time here, the creator and lead of Safe Mode Disabled, Janel Lawson, aka Boss Jellybean, and welcome! Hi.
Thank you for having me.
For those who don't know you, let the people know. Break it down.
Sure. Hi, I'm Janelle. I also go by Boss Jellybean on the internets. I am a actual play producer, a tabletop role play designer and publisher, and then just an actual play guest on many a channel.
As is the way sometimes in this lovely industry. So for those who might be interested in a new Powered by the Apocalypse game, what is Safe Mode Disabled and what can people expect from it?
So Safe Mode Disabled is a game that is designed to tell stories in the realm of video game isekai. So what that means is your Matrixes, your Trons, your Ready Player Ones. So it's about having these two very different worlds, the digital world and the real world, and being able to have an avatar in one and your other character, your real character in the other, and how those can interact and bleed together. It's also about connection, and it took a lot of inspiration from the relationships that you form online and in the real world and how those impact you and your character growth.
Oh, I love that. So what drew you to PBTA? What was the thing that said, yeah, I want to make a game in that?
Definitely the pick up and go aspect of a Powered by the Apocalypse game. I mean, they're, in my opinion, the easiest games to just jump in and start playing. I love D&D, but there's a steep learning curve, right? So, I mean, I just DM'd a table last night that was a significant amount of new players, and it takes a while. You have an hour at least of prep before to get people comfortable with what the character sheet looks like and stuff. With a Powered by the Apocalypse game, it's really you could be done with setup in 10 minutes if you want, right? So that was a big part of it. I thought that this genre might appeal to people who haven't played tabletop roleplay games before, so I wanted to make sure it was something that was not overly complicated and that newcomers could very easily play.
But there is sort of a complexity of it, of having these dual locations and playbooks, though. What's some advice that you would give to people who are wanting to kind of tackle this as their first game to either run or play in whenever it comes to Powered by the Apocalypse?
I think if it is your first game and you're jumping right into Safe Mode Disabled, that for the first session, maybe have them stick to one world or the other, just so you get used to the mechanics without doing the cross-dimensional stuff in the very beginning. Because that way you're only looking at one playbook mostly, and then the rest can come in later sessions, basically. So start in one, and then begin to dip your toe, so to speak, into the other.
And you kind of mentioned that there's this connection aspect to the game. Mm-hmm. I think having that first game in, or first sessions in one world really could build those connections really easily. Because I will say this, certain Powered by the Apocalypse games are all built on making sure there's a connection web within your table.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those games where the connections mechanics are very important. And what I really enjoy about the connections mechanics in this game, I was trying to make it in a way that would mimic in the real world, where I may feel one way about someone, but they might not feel that same way back towards me. And so the connections mechanics in this are one way, right? So you can have two people where one of them has a we'll say competitive relationship towards someone, and that person like back at them might have admiration. Like it allows you to have those really complex relationships in a tabletop roleplay mechanics form. And yeah, you definitely can get some messy webs, especially if they can change from session to session. So if someone gets like a broken connection, that can completely derail things. It's interesting in that way.
Well, on that, what to make sure that the messy connections don't happen outside the game, what kind of safety tools do you suggest to kind of complete a session with safe mode disabled?
That's a great question. I would probably recommend the same ones that I use at my table, which are X card is a big one. So throw that up, and your game master knows to take it all back and delete that scene from the session. I would also suggest anyone who's going to be playing any tabletop roleplay game to be using like a safety checklist of some kind. There are a bunch of them out there, so just kind of look them up and find which one you think works best for your table. But yeah, I don't know that you need anything additional than you would playing any other tabletop roleplay game, but you definitely should be using them at all times, no matter what game you're playing, in my opinion.
By the way, internet, use safety tools. Hello.
Yes, please.
Please use safety tools at your table. Hello, communication is key for a game such as a tabletop role-playing game. Well, okay, I know the answer, but are there examples of people playing safe mode disabled?
There are. There are many examples. I know that Hex Heist is going to have an episode come out soon where they got to use it. I was told I'm going to cry when I see the episode by the players.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So I'm really excited for that one. I'm going to be running a one-shot on the Gloria's channel, Glow Pinksta, for Charm Party. And that is going to be really fun. I'm excited to dive into that one. And then also Roll D5, I ran a one-shot there. And also they did a full campaign with it. So that's up on YouTube now, so you can go check that out.
Speaking of campaigns, how long, I mean, PBTA games can range in length. What would you say is a good session amount for a campaign for Safe Mode Disabled?
That's a great question. We're actually still in the beta stages of the leveling up system. We have a couple of things that we're playing around with. In the quick start guide, I haven't provided any way to level up as of yet because of that. And what I'm aiming for is for this system to be able to hold a range. So I want them to be able to have a year-long campaign if they want. I want them to be sufficiently happy with a one-shot. But I think probably the sweet spot is going to be like your 8 to 10 session, more of a mini campaign. But yeah, I mean, obviously I would like for the system to be able to withstand any length, but that's kind of the goal, is that middle range.
So the people of the internet might not know this. This is your first campaign.
It is.
This is your first campaign. What made you do the jump to a Kickstarter campaign and start fundraising? I've published a couple other things before.
Well, I should say this is my first solo campaign. I did do a group one with Three Quills Publishing, which was Johnny from Talking XP and Andy from Margot Mods Games. We did a Candela Obscura game that Blackout that came out a little while ago, but I was never really involved in like the Kickstarter end of that. That was all Andy. And so after doing that and kind of like seeing how that went, I always had it kind of in the back of my mind that I would like to do a Kickstarter at some point. And then when I started building Safe Mode Disabled, I realized I had very lofty goals of what I wanted this to look like, and that is not cheap. So to be able to have all the character art and put the time that I wanted into this, it was gonna cost a little extra than I'm used to. So
yeah, I will say that is a common thing that I hear. It's like, oh, yeah, that's a little expensive, especially now with like if you're doing any overseas stuff, if you're, importing things, tariffs and things like that are definitely going to be an issue. By the way, we love Andy and Johnny on this channel. We absolutely adore them. But this campaign isn't a 30-day campaign. This is a little bit extra. I think it's like a month and a half.
It's like a 45-day one.
Yeah. What made you choose that time length?
It was mostly me just doing research on it about what was the sweet spot of length for a Kickstarter. It also is just kind of timed well because I'm going to be going to London right as it ends. So it was going to be a nice, I work my butt off for a long period of time, and then I go on a vacation with my family, and then come back and kind of get all the finances ready and hire everybody I need hired. So,
I mean, on that note, you already have an amazing team established. How many more people are you planning to add to the team?
Oh, that's a great question. We do already have our editors lined up. I have my group of artists, and we right now are in talks with people about being setting collaborators. And a couple, I actually just made an update about it that I can announce so far. We have Jaden King from D&D in a Castle and Infinite Stories. We have Dennis Fleming, the creator of Sagas. Andy, as I've already mentioned, is going to be one of the collaborators from Exocology of Monster Hunters and Lorlock Manor. Meadow Lawson is going to be another collaborator, and she has made Proper Yearning in a Time of Uncertainty and Tick Tick Bloom. Ross, who is the game master for Blades of Mairi podcast and director of Studio Cucina. And then Connor Botel, who is from Mimic's Den and Cloudkill Clothing. And then just last night, actually, I spoke with Daniel, the DM, Daniel Hargrove, who is also going to be one of our setting collaborators. And those are the ones I can announce right now. There might be two others. But yeah.
So that is amazing. So many good people. Many good people.
It's a great team.
Oh my gosh.
Was extremely lucky that everyone I asked basically said yes. And I very distinctly was like, who are my favorite world builders? And those are like the people that I went and asked first. And everyone seemed really excited about the project. And I was very happy about that. So.
Hell yeah. Well, when we're filming this, the campaign launched almost a week ago, and you've already surpassed your goal.
Yep.
Yeah, you've blown through that 5K goal. What does it mean that you've already surpassed it this far into the campaign? You've got plenty of time left.
I was in shock. I think Gloria put up pictures on our socials when she told me. I literally melted and fell to the floor. Uh, I was in absolute shock because I woke up. The day we launched, we had a good amount. I think I went to bed and we were at 4,000, and I was just completely blown away by all the support from the TTRPG community. I truly wasn't expecting that at all. Like we had done all the marketing, and stuff, and I have so much faith and belief in Gloria and Taylor, but like the idea that we were gonna hit 100% within 20 hours was nowhere near, like, even in my craziest like thoughts, like that was not on the table. So I remember, like, I woke up that morning being like, okay, well, yesterday we had a big surge. I'm sure, like, we probably won't get a lot today. I just need to, like, mentally prepare for it to be a slow day. And I was like, I think feeding my baby and getting dressed, and then I look at my phone and, like, messages from Gloria and is like, we are at 100%. I'm like, what? Like, no. So that was wild. It means that we can make the book, right? So it's crazy. We still have, for my full vision, we would have to get some of the stretch goals, but I mean, as of right now, we can make the book, which is something I couldn't do a week ago. So
well, on that note of stretch goals, what can people expect getting to those higher tiers of stretch goals, or even more money into the project?
Sure. So the first 3 stretch goals we have are expansions on the character classes. So the next one that we're actually halfway to, as of right now, because we're at 6 grand, we got to get to 7, which is going to unlock the avatar class, the psychic, and the IRL class, the group parent. And then if we get to 10K, that's going to unlock the shapeshifter and the min-maxer. And then 15 unlocks the siren and the troll. So obviously we'll get more art for the book. We'll get more character classes, just more customization for everybody who's playing it. The higher up tiers at 20K, we have a music expansion. Right now we have an album that is out on Spotify, Apple Music, and Amazon Music, I believe. That was done by Chordcaster, and on like, I'm a little biased, but it's pretty good music. But if we get to the 20K range, then those tracks and more will be added that are looping ones that are specifically designed for your games at home, or even actual plays. If we get to 25, Jaden has another setting that he is thinking about doing. And then the higher tiers than that are some really cool things, one of which is like a digital tools. So I would love to be able to design an app for character creation. I would love to be able to design an encounter generator, things like that. Because I think that those tools in D&D help a lot when you have a game to run in 5 minutes and you haven't prepped.
Let me roll 3d20 real quick. Hold on. Adjective, noun, verb, done. Ad libs.
Exactly. So I think having those kinds of tools makes the game more accessible. We also have stretch goals that are more adventures. We have a stretch goal at 30K that is 2 adventures per setting, which we're going to have somewhere between 8 to 12 settings with all the collaborators that we have. So that would be a significant amount of adventures that are pre-made that you could just pick up and go. At 40K, we expand that to 4 adventures per setting. So yeah, lofty goals. Also, a big part of the stretch goals are getting Safe Mode Disabled translated into multiple languages. I am already in the works of getting the Quick Start Guide translated into Spanish. Roll D5 is actually going to be doing a one-shot that will be fully in Spanish. And having this accessible to multiple languages is something that's really important to me. But translations are expensive, and getting that stuff right is extremely important, because just translating word to word in a tabletop roleplay game doesn't work. You need the nuance of it. I need someone, who knows this world, knows this terminology, and can actually like tell me what, how we're gonna translate that into another language. So that type of work is not cheap. But I would really love it to get one of those goals on there. And then the big ones, the ones that are, I don't know if they're gonna happen, but are VTT support enabled. So 80K is like a full Foundry VTT support. And then we also are potentially going to be looking into doing a Safe Mode Disabled website, which would have its own forums and its own virtual tabletop. So lofty goals, lots of which are either expansions to the text or tech-based, which I think makes a lot of sense with the game, because for a game that's all about being in a virtual world, wouldn't it be cool if you had those tools to play virtually?
Right. Yeah, that would be amazing, because then you can have your like character art that you have, for your, person that you get commissioned, and you just be like, here's my character, we're in the virtual world, we're doing the virtual thing. That's so, oh man, I hope everything gets done. I know that means more work for you, but,
I would love
and
it.
your
So,
team.
I actually went to school for UX and app mobile design, so that's kind of like my
This is like the
niche.
perfect. This is the perfect project for you. You're like, please let us
like,
get the
just give me
VTT
the
support.
funding.
I
I
want
can do amazing
I want to
things.
put my degree to use. Please. Oh my goodness. Well, with this being your first solo project, what have you learned?
Oh gosh, so many silly things. I was having a rough time with meta ads for a while there. I did not understand how to do that.
Meta
So
ads
that was a
they've
steep
always
learning
been
curve.
like that.
Yeah, I
Facebook,
feel like it was
meta ads.
overly complicated.
It's too complicated.
Yeah, I only recently found out that I could connect like the Kickstarter to Meta Labs and have that like helping each other in a way. So like that whole side of things was completely foreign to me, and that's been a learn as you go thing. Also just like how to, I guess, like the math behind a Kickstarter, right? I came into this as a creative, and the money side of things was never really something that I knew much about. So learning like pricing stuff and that the whole psychology behind all of that was interesting. So I learned a lot of what goes into selling a product. So I don't know, in my mind, kind of the boring end of the creation process, but the necessary evil of it all. So
We live in a capitalist society. We've got to price things a certain way. Yeah. Yeah, that's the unfortunate part. Trust.
It
I'm
really
sure
is.
everybody who's ever done a Kickstarter, I'm sure there's plenty of people on your team who've done Kickstarters, but like that is the most irritating part. Is the
like,
finances.
You have to make it end with this number, otherwise it's perceived in the brain as a different number, and I'm like, that's wild.
Well, people might be asking already, even though the Kickstarter fundraiser is not over. what can they expect from you next?
Oh gosh. What is next on the docket? I don't know if I'm allowed to say too much because Gloria and Taylor are always telling me I'm not allowed to get more projects. Um, I am going to be GMing a oh my gosh, I just blanked on the name of the system. It is the Sailor Moon Powered by the Apocalypse system.
Yes,
Completely
yes. Girl by Moonlight. Girl by Moonlight. We love Girl by Moonlight.
Is it Girl by Moonlight or is it the... No, wait. No, there's another one.
No, is...
Am I crazy?
Oh. Am I crazy? Am I crazy?
I know Girl by Moonlight is one of them. I think they're... Glitter Hearts.
Oh, Glitter Hearts.
Okay,
of. Yes, okay. Okay,
so
I was like,
wait, no, that's the other one. There are two.
There are two.
Yes.
Sometimes there are multiple Powered by the Apocalypse
in one genre.
in the genre.
Yeah, I'm going to be GMing. It's a 2-table campaign. I'm GMing the Femme table. And then there's going to be a mask table, and the Femme table are like Sailor Moon-esque guardians, and the mask table are more your Super Sentai Power Ranger people, and they're going to be fighting the same evil entity, and I don't think I can say much more about that one, but that project is going to be very fun. Besides that, I have Vase in the Withering Wick, that we gotta get the second half of that season out. It got a little thrown off because we have filmed it. It was my first in-person TTRPG project, which was a whole other learning experience. But we filmed it, was really happy with it, started editing it. We got the first 3 episodes out, and then my baby came early.
As babies sometimes do. Babies sometimes do.
So that got halted until later. So I'm going to be returning back to editing Vasen as soon as the Kickstarter is done. Get those last 3 episodes out, and then the next big project from me, besides the Safe Mode Disabled book and everything, is that I'm looking into doing something called the Fathomwood, which right now we have about 50 players in. And that is a campaign of one-on-one solo adventures where it's sort of a low magic fantasy setting of these cursed woods. And players go off into the woods and their fears manifest in there. And so each episode, the woods become more dangerous because each player's fears become a new denizen of the woods. So it's going to start out like a little bit on the horror side, more like thriller fantasy, and then we're going to end in like your A21 area of horror. So that will be a very fun thing, but I think that's mostly gonna end up being a next year project.
As most things are, it's like, oh, I'll do it next year.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I'm trying really hard not to load myself up with too many projects, and
you have a baby.
Yeah, I got a baby.
You have a baby. That is the number one project.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is the part where I say, plug your shit. Let the people know about the Kickstarter and what's where they can find it and everything like that.
You can find Safe Mode Disabled on Kickstarter right now. It will be there until June 5th. And if you want to play something Safe Mode related in the meantime, we have the Quick Start Guide that is on there as a free download. We also have an ARG. That's like a fun website, a video game adventure that we built. That came out really fun. It kind of teaches you how to be a hacker. So go play that. It's very fun. And so is the Quick Start Guide. So I hope you enjoy it.
Well, thank you so much for sitting down and talking to me. I greatly appreciate it. I cannot wait. I'm I'm like, okay, well, I can definitely do this at this time of the month. All right, let me back things. I get really bad about backing things. I will back so many projects. I'm like, I've got to support people. I got to support my friends. If you would like to back Safe Mode Disabled, all the links will be down below in the little show notes, the doobly-doo. Make sure you go follow Janel everywhere they post online, and so you can get updates on the project and everything like that. And outside of that, y'all, I greatly appreciate everybody who sticks around for the channel. Make sure to like, subscribe. If you would like to become a patron over on Patreon. We have a free slot where you will even get your name in the show notes. But if you'd like to, throw some money my way, you can do that. It's fine. $7 a month at the most if you want to. Outside of that, y'all, I love you very much, and I will see you on the internet. Goodbye.